Hi, good morning to all of you. Today we will discuss about one more topic, that is your occupational structure, or we can say structural change in India since independence. So we are going to discuss about occupational structure or structural change in India since independence. Just I want to go for a short introduction about occupational structure. You see, for example, all over India, all over the world, for example, different people work in different occupations, different people work in different sectors to earn their livelihood, to get their income. So, when the total population or when different people are engaged in different economic activities or different sectors to earn their livelihood, it is called occupational structure. May I repeat the sentence once again? We are working in different sectors to get our livelihood. We are working in different occupations to earn our livelihood. So when people work in different sectors, when people work in different occupations all over India, that is called occupational structure. Basically, what we see, we can classify the all entire occupations under 3 areas. First one is your primary sector. Second one comes to your secondary sector. Third point comes to your service sector. So these are the broad classifications where people work in different sectors. One is your primary sector, second one is your secondary sector, and last one is your service sector. In total, all have to work among these 3 sectors. All have to work among these 3 sectors. One is your primary sector, second point is your secondary sector, third point is your service sector. And this, the entire distribution of working population among these 3 sectors is called occupational structure. The entire distribution of working population among different sectors is called occupational structure. What happens when a country starts, for example, basically the out of the total population, mainly most of the population are engaged in primary sector. Primary sector is otherwise known as agricultural sector. Primary sector is otherwise known as agricultural sector. When a country starts, then mainly, for example, out of the total population, most of the people are working in primary sector. When a country develops, when a country goes towards development, then this proportion changes, and the population who are working in primary sector, they now shift to work in secondary sector and service sector. This is called structural change. I am repeating once again. The entire distribution of working population. Working population means people who are not working in day-to-day life. The entire distribution of working population among different sectors is called occupational structure. And when a society starts, when a country starts, then most of the people are engaged in primary sector or agricultural sector. But in course of time, with the passage of time, what happens? The country is going to be a developed country. The country is not going to be economically developed. And in the passage of time, people are shifting their job. People are changing their occupation from primary to secondary to service sector. Most of the developed countries of the world, most of the advanced countries of the world, they are very strong in secondary and service sector. That is why they are called developed countries. We can see that. It is being already proved. almost all the developed countries and advanced countries of the world, they have already proved that in those countries, most of the people are working in secondary and service sector. That is why they are known as developed countries. But India is known as a developing country or underdeveloped country in the sense, out of total population, our 50% population now still depends on primary sector as a source of livelihood. That is why we are being known as a underdeveloped or developing country. But if you talk about advanced countries, then in those countries, most of the population work in secondary sector or service sector. Now I am talking about the first point, primary sector. It is otherwise known as agricultural sector. Basically, the activities that will come under primary sector includes agriculture. So I want to tell you that agriculture is the main source of primary sector. Agriculture is the main occupation. It is the main source of primary sector. So what happens, for example, primary sector not only includes agriculture, but also it also includes some allied activities. I am repeating, primary sector includes agriculture and its allied activities. Allied activity means, for example, supplementary activities, animal husbandry, dairy farming, for example, mining, you can say, for example, they all are the activities that is coming under primary sector. But you should understand one point, agriculture is the main source of primary sector. Apart from agriculture, there are some other activities which is a part of primary sector. To define primary sector, for example, we can define primary sector. Primary sector is that sector which it is the sector that produces goods by utilizing natural resources. I am repeating once again, primary sector is the sector which produces goods by utilizing natural resources. So you can know this definition very clearly, that primary sector includes the activities of agriculture and its supplementary activities. So it is now improved. It produces goods just by utilizing, just by using the natural resources like land, water, like agriculture, water. When it comes to secondary sector, for example, secondary sector is otherwise known as industrial sector. Secondary sector, I am giving you options. Secondary sector is also otherwise known as industrial sector. And the name tells itself, industry is the main activity of secondary sector. Industry is the main source of in secondary sector, as agriculture is the main source of primary sector. Industry is the main source of secondary sector. All type of industrial works you can include under secondary sector. So people who are depending on those activities, they are a part of secondary sector. People who are depending on industrial or manufacturing activities, they are a part of secondary sector. And people who are working in this sector, they are a part of secondary sector. To understand the concept of secondary sector, we can take one more concept very frankly. That secondary sector includes the activity of MCB. Secondary sector, you know that industry is the main source of secondary sector, and it includes the sources of MCB. M stands for manufacturing, C stands for construction, B stands for building. It's a very easy process for you to understand about industrial or secondary sector. When you understand these concepts very clearly, then it will be very easy for you to understand the concept of secondary sector. So I am repeating once again, secondary sector includes the activities of all these three segments. One is your manufacturing, all types of factory works, all types of industrial works will be a part of manufacturing sector. C for construction, construction of roads, construction of railways, construction of all types of dams, canals, bridges, all is a part of construction works. And last point is your B for building. Building of apartments, building of houses, building of all other kind of things are part of the building. So, when we talk about industrial sector, you should focus on 3 points, that MCB. M for manufacturing, it includes all type of industrial manufacturing works. C for construction, construction of roads, bridges, dams, canals, all the things. B for building, building of apartments, houses and all that. So MCB basically is a reference to second sector. One point I would like to tell you here is that when you go for construction, then it is a part of secondary sector. When you complete the work of construction, from there you start the activity of service sector. When you are going for the activity of construction of dams, roads, railways, then it is a part of secondary sector. But when you complete the construction activities, when you finish the construction activity, from there onwards you start the activity of service sector. For example, construction of roads, railways, for example, you are getting about secondary sector. But when you complete a road, when you finish the work of the road, then we are providing transport service. When a road is being built, when a road is being constructed, then after the completion of the construction work, then we start the activity of service sector. You should remember, very interesting point. Now, when you complete the industrial some part of industrial sector, you are going to start the part of service sector. Are you clear? I am repeating once again. Your industrial sector includes the activities of MCB. M for manufacturing, C for construction, B for building. And after that, we will go to third point, last point, that is your service sector. Service sector is otherwise known as your tertiary sector. Before that, I want to go for a definition of secondary sector. Let us write, for example, that. I am writing about the definition of secondary sector. Well, how can we define secondary sector, for example? We will go for that. Secondary sector is that sector which converts raw materials into finished items. This is the main point you have to keep under secondary sector. So obviously, for example, in all types of activities, for example, you are doing nothing, for example, because after understanding manufacturing, construction, building, now it is easy to define the concept of secondary sector. It will be more easy and elaborating for you to define the meaning of secondary sector. Secondary sector or industrial sector is that sector which convert raw material or semi-finished items, or you can say intermediate items, for example. May I repeat the sentence once again? Raw materials, semi-finished items, intermediate items into finished items. That is a part of industrial sector. When you are converting iron ore to iron, then that is a part of secondary sector. So it is nothing but it is a conversion of a raw material into finished item. So you just remember, for example, you are getting, for example, textile, you are getting, for example, the example from secondary sector. The last point is that is service sector, for example. In service sector, for example, it is little bit different from the primary and secondary sector. Service sector is little bit different from primary and secondary sector. In the sense, in service sector, we provide different services. In service sector, we are providing different services. So we can define service sector. For example, we provide the sector that provide different service to the community. This is the meaning of service sector. Service sector is that sector which provides different services to the society or to the community. This is known as service sector. Service sector, it is otherwise known as tertiary sector, for example. So under service sector, for example, you will have examples of transport, for example. There are various examples. Transport, then it comes from a banking, then it comes from a insurance, then comes communication. So then comes BPO. Nowadays this is the emerging sector in the service area. All are a part of service sector. Is that very clear? We have gone through the concept of different sectors where people are working in India. One is your primary sector, one is your secondary sector, and the third one is your service sector. What I would like to tell you that agriculture is the main source of primary sector, industry is the main source of secondary sector, and different services are the main source of service sector. Primary sector, we are producing goods by utilizing natural resources. Secondary sector, we are producing, we are converting a raw material, we are converting a semi-finished item into a finished item. In service sector, for example, we are providing different services. So this is a description of different sectors. You should know, you should have an idea about going to discuss about the structural change of Indian economy. You should understand these are the three sectors where people are working in India, in all over the world. These are the different occupations. These are the different occupations that we have to know very clearly before going to discuss about the change in occupation or structural change. That is the example, important part for that. After defining different concepts of different occupations, now it is easy and it is now desirable, it is very important for us to discuss about different contributions of different sectors and the trend. In this part, what we want? We have to discuss about different sectors in Indian economy and what is the change we have noticed after independence, for example. At the time of independence, what is the trend? And after independence, for example, after 70 years of independence, what is the change you have to write over there, for example. You can see that occupational structure or structural change in India, for example. Then we can classify under 3 years like that, for example. One is your declining share of primary sector. As I told you that when a country starts, when a civilization starts, then most of the people have to depend on primary sector. But with the passage of time, with the just going of time, then they have to shift from primary to secondary and tertiary sector. So this is the mark of development of Indian economy. People who are depending at the time of independence, the part of the proportion of people depends on primary sector. Now it is changed. For example, we will notice over that in 1951, for example, 72% of working population. In 1951, 72% of working population depends on agriculture as the main source of livelihood. May I repeat once again? In 1951, 72% of working population depends on primary sector as their source of livelihood. Now, as per 2001 census, for example, 56.7% of working population depends on agriculture as a source of livelihood. What happened? In 1952, out of total working population, 72% depends on agriculture sector as a source of livelihood. Now in 2001, for example, 56.7% are depending on agriculture as a source of livelihood. 2011 census telling you it is coming 50% of working population depends on agriculture as a source of livelihood. So you have to justify the statement that in course of time the dependence ratio on private sector is declining day by day. It is a mark of our development of Indian economy. Because in the starting of the class I told you the advanced countries of the world, the developed countries of the world, they are developed in the sense their proportion of working population mainly depends on industrial and service sector. That is why they are called developed countries. We are developing in that sense. Till now, 50% of our population depends on agriculture as their source of livelihood. If you have a comparative analysis of India with developed countries, you will find that only 5%, roughly 5% to 10% of working population depends on agriculture as the source of livelihood. It will be interesting for you. It will be interesting when you compare your figure with the wall figure. It will be interesting for you when you compare your figure with advanced countries figure. It will be more interesting. It will be more important for you because then only you will be developed. Then only you can mark our performance like that. Then you come to second point, for example, we will write increasing share of industrial sector. Second point I told you, that is industrial sector. This is our second occupation. In India, for example, at the time of independence, our industrial sector development was very low. It is due to the exploitation policy of the Britishers. It is due to the negligence policy of the Britishers. They have gained full from our industrial sector, but they have left us handicapped in industrial sector. Due to their policy, now we are suffering a lot in industrial sector. Let us go for the data in industrial sector. In 1951, 10% of working population depends on industrial sector as the source of livelihood. In 1951, 10% of working population are depending on agriculture as the source of livelihood. Now I told you that the share of primary sector has been declining. So you have to be more intelligent in that sense. If we take the three sectors, it comes as 100%. If the share of primary sector is declining, obviously the share of industrial and service sector is not obviously increasing. So if it is 1951, if 10% of working population depends on industrial sector, then in 2001, for example, 17% of working population now depends on agriculture as the source of livelihood. You see the statistics over here. 1951, 72% depends on agriculture, depends on primary. In 1951, 10% of industrial sector depends on industrial sector. 2001, for example, it is 56.7. In 2001, it is 17%, for example. This is a statistics that now the trend is telling you people are shifting from primary to industrial sector. The entire statistics is there. Now we are going in the path of development. It proves people shift from primary to industrial and service sector slowly. It proves just we are moving in the path of development. For example, this is called structural change. The change in the occupation. The change in the occupation of the country with the passage of time. It is called structural change in India. And we are comparing the data. We are comparing the trend before independence and now as of now or 2021. This is called structural change. The change in the engagement of people in different occupations from 1951 to till that is called structural change. So now let us go to the last point, that is your increasing share of service sector. We are moving to third point. I told you service sector is otherwise known as the tertiary sector. In service sector, we are providing different services. You have to understand service sector is different from first and second in the sense in primary and industrial sector we are producing goods, but in service sector we are providing services. With the passage of time, the people engaged in service sector, it is also changed. In 1951, almost 17%, for example, of working population depends on agriculture as the source of livelihood. In 1951, in 2001, now the figure is telling that it is 25. 2001, 25%. Agriculture in 2001 it is 56 point. Industrial sector in 2001 it is 17%, and in service sector itself it is coming to 25%. So if you add together, for example, these three statistics, for example, it will come that is 100%. So this is the share of service sector nowadays, for example, increasing day by day, because I told the service sector includes the activities of different services like banking, telecom, business. Nowadays we are booming with BPO, we are booming with telecom sector, we are booming with banking sector, we are booming with insurance sector. So we can say that now India is being the leading service sector provider in the global market. In today's world, in the international market, for example, now we emerge as the leading service provider. That is why the share of service sector, for example, people engaged in service sector in 1951, now it has been going to 25%. Before that, in 1951, it is 17, now it is 25%. I am repeating the trend once again for your clarification, for your simplification. 1951, 72% of working population engaged in private sector. 2001, 56.7% are engaged in private sector for their rural livelihood. This trend is clearly telling you that share from 1951 has been declined in 2001. Now, in point number 2, I have clearly written increasing share of industrial sector. In 1951, almost 10% of working population depending on industrial sector. Now the statistics, the figure has gone to 17% in 2001. And the last point, increasing share of service sector, for example, in 1951, 17% of working population depends on depends for their livelihood. Now it is coming to 25% in 2001. This is a structural change we have noticed since independence. This is a structural change that we have noticed after independence. We are making a comparison very straightly, 1951 to as of now, and it is clearly telling the three figures that people who previously engaged in agricultural sector, they have now shifted from their occupation to industrial and service sector. And in the industrial and service sector, for example, it is being increased with the growing population, with the emerging of new population, with the emerging of new labor force. More and more people are now engaged in industrial and service sector. So the trend of industrial sector and service sector is moving day by day, and this is a mark of development. But it is quite interesting to tell you that after a long year, for example, we have slow. Advanced countries, for example, you see, for example, they are being developed, they are being advanced in that sense. They have fully developed their industrial sector, they have fully developed their service sector. Many people are working in industrial and service sector, but after a passage upon a long time, for example, we are showing a steady increase in industrial and service sector. Time will tell you how much we are improving in industrial and service sector, for example. So this is a clear picture about your occupational structure or structural change in India since independence. The answer for this is that first you will give an introduction for occupational structure, then we will go for the classification of different sectors, your primary sectors, otherwise known as agricultural sector. Then you will go for the second point, your secondary sector. It is otherwise known as industrial sector. Industry is the main source for industrial sector. Then we will go for the tertiary sector. In tertiary sector is otherwise known as service sector, and different services are the main part of service sector. And after that, you will make a comparative analysis of the data related to 1952 and data related to 2001. And now it is the conclusion that India is moving in the path of development, although it is very slow. Although we are moving very slowly, but still we are moving in the path of development. But comparing to advanced countries, comparing to developing countries, our movement, our transition, our conversion is very slow in a structural change. Thank you all.